everybody. Welcome to my Suburban Oasis. So it's really windy out today. I think we've got a little bit of a cold front coming through. So I'm going to take advantage of our last warm day. In the springtime, you can also transplant some things that maybe you weren't able to get to last fall, or you're just ready to move them on. And I have some daylilies that I planted in this bed last year. Here, all of these. And I was kind of rescuing them from another area where I was trying to kill off the snow on the mountain. A lot of people call that Joe Pye weed. I think it's Eupatorium is the real name for it. Anyways, I was trying to kill it off. These were in that bed as well, and I wanted to save them, so I temporarily moved them over here while I was killing off that invasive perennial. So I'm going to dig these out and I'm going to transplant them to another area of the yard. And then in addition to that, I also have some pots that I've gotten ready to dig up a few small seedlings of my hellebores out front so that I can transplant those later into a shady spot in the way back where there's a lot of bare dirt still. All right, let's get started. Lilies are a really tough plant, so I'm really not worried about them in terms of hurting their roots or anything like that. I'm using a nice sharp shovel in order to get them out. I think I need to get this one out a little further. They're also really easy to divide if they're too big. These have only been here for about a year, so they aren't super big. So you can see there's a lot of new growth on this one. I could probably pull this apart into two, but it's small enough right now where I just want to keep it this size. I have a lot of veggies coming, and because of that, I need to make space. So now these need to move. You can tell just how hardy they are by the fact that it's March and they're already sending up lots of new growth. The soil is moist today because we just had some rain, but it's not overly wet. It's important not to work in your soil if it is super wet because it will compact very easily and the soil structure will be ruined. But you can see it's still kind of crumbling apart here, so we're in good shape. If you ever want to divide perennials, I'm just going to show you on this one. This is called division. This one's super easy one. Simply pull them apart and voila, now you have two plants. Ow! I think I broke a fingernail. At least bent it back real good. This is another good example of a way to divide. You shake, pull, twist, whatever you need to do to get them apart. I don't really want them apart, but I'm just showing you for purposes of this video how they come apart. This one will even separate into two. So really easy way to make more plants, especially if you're on a budget. Looks like a lot of great soil for my veggies. This bed has a few as well. I moved a couple just the other day, but I need to finish getting them out. These are different than the other ones. These are both like a really light peach, kind of a deeper maroon eye in the center. Going to leave all the awesome soil and all the awesome worms down here in these beds. It looks like I missed one over here. Make sure I keep all this wonderful leaf mulch over the bed. Helps keep the water in, helps keep the soil temperature fairly even, and helps keep any weed seeds from getting in there before I can get my vegetables in. Okay, we got 2 buckets. Let's go plant. This gorilla cart sure is coming in handy. All right, I'm going to try to plant in threes, groups of 3, all the way along this bed, and maybe add a couple down there too. Should make for a real full look. So when I'm planting, I want to plant these a little below the soil line, but not quite as deep as they were in the other bed. So I'm going to plant them right about there. See? That looks good. Remember, you guys, plants want to grow. So even if you cut off almost all the roots and there's only one left, or there's a little tiny piece of green on it, it's probably still able to be saved, and you can still plant it. It'll probably grow back. You just have to make sure that it's in the right spot and that you water it. So give it sunshine or shade, give it some good soil, some tender loving care, and it should love you back. So I'm just kind of jamming it in there. In this bed, I have these lily of the valleys. Guys, I hate them. Some people love them. They smell good. They just crawl all over the place and do me no good. So if you want some, come get them. Anyway, as you can see, this is just a big pile. I'm going to try to smush it in here, maybe make a little more room. There we go. And since it just rained, the water's kind of moist. I mean, the soil's kind of moist. All right, I'm trying to put these in here as many as I can for maximum impact. So for some of the ones that I already pulled apart, I'm pushing them back together. Also, it saves with digging holes. So you can see it doesn't really matter to me how I'm covering these up so long as they're covered, because we're about to get a good 6 yards of mulch. It will be forest brown, just like this stuff right here. So it'll mix right in and everything will look uniform again and lovely. So we'll show you how we do that when we get it. That'll be next week, I think, or the week after. Deer and bunny do like to eat fresh little daylilies like this, so I won't be surprised if they come in and nibble these. But they will grow back, and hopefully, because I've planted so many of them, they'll still look good. I've been taking pictures of my yard recently because I haven't for a couple of years in the springtime before things come up. And I think it's important to do that at different parts of the season so that you can see what's growing and what's not. It's helping me assess some things like, where do I want to plant more spring bulbs? Because you can see where the bare spots are right now really well. And you can see the bulbs that are coming up right now really well. So it's a good time to kind of make that assessment and think about planning for your fall bulb orders. And I know that sounds ridiculous given that it's March, but it's the easiest time to do it. I also have a theory that if you feed the deer with plants like these, they'll stay away from the ones that are really expensive that you don't have a lot of. Look at this, you guys. The leaves are starting to come out on my lemon barberry here, lemon lime barberry. All right, this looks good. Take a look. This is a teeny tiny baby Japanese maple that self-seeded, and I'm so excited because I can see the leaf tips at the top coming back, which means it survived the winter. I was worried it wouldn't, but it's still here. So I'm gonna keep an eye on this and see how it does. Hopefully I'll have a nice new little Japanese maple to plant somewhere. So I'm getting ready now to dig up some of my hellebore seedlings. As you can see, they self-seed. They're quite prolific sometimes. So this is the parent plant, which is looking rather ratty this time of year before it sends up its new leaves. These in particular, I'm gonna leave here just because this hellebore has not been here that long, and it really will help to bulk this one up. But we're gonna go get some of the other ones that are in this bed. Okay, so here's some other hellebore babies. Here's one right here. This one was a new seed, I think last year, because I can tell that it's a little ratty from over the winter. And then near it are some other little babies that are brand new this year. Same over here. I have some little babies right here. And then this one's a little bit bigger. So I'm just gonna dig up the ones that are a little bit bigger. and leave the tiny ones. See how we did here. Yep, got a root. So here you can see what the baby looks like. I should have brought my my dibber out here. Just gonna pot them up so I can plant them in another spot on another day. Put these in my little greenhouse probably for now. Hellebores can be very expensive. I don't know if you've priced them out on the market or not, but they can be, you know, $20 or $30 for a quart or a gallon of hellebore. So if you have seedlings that you can transplant around, it's great. Let's take a look at the different kind of flowers you can get. Isn't this one beautiful? Look at the speckling on the interior. There's like a purple burgundy, and the beautiful petals, just so gorgeous. The one thing to remember about baby hellebore seedlings is that they aren't always true to their parent plant. So while you get a free plant, the trade-off is that you don't necessarily know what color it will be. So like the one I just showed you was very lime with a with more of the purple on the inside, and you can see this one is actually a very different color here. It has purple on the outside as well as around the edges. And so they're both very beautiful, but different. These come from the same plants. I got these originally from a neighbor, and they're simply gorgeous, and what a great present. So they're also good if you get the seedlings up. You can plant them for your friends and neighbors, and just check out how many there are with this one, for example. I mean, they're everywhere. Now here's another downside to hellebore seedlings. This right here is a hosta, and they can get caught up in the crowns of your hosta, and you want to try to avoid that. So if any of them self-seed around it, I usually like to pluck them out. And people who don't have hellebores will be like, oh my god, you're killing the babies! But when you have too many, it's just the way that it is. Let's see if I can even get this one out. Came out with the root. Alright, so now I have at least 8 new little plants here that look good. I will water them in, put them in my greenhouse, and let them grow on a bit before planting them out in the yard. Alright everybody, well that's a wrap. Thanks for joining me today. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and pop that notification bell to get notified the next time a video comes out. Thanks for joining me. I had a great time making this video with you. See you next time. Bye!